A potential breakthrough in the government shutdown saga has emerged, with senators working tirelessly to find a resolution. The shutdown, poised to become the longest in history, has senators searching for a way out. But here's the catch. It's a delicate dance, with both parties needing to compromise. A bipartisan group of senators, led by Senate Majority Leader John Thune, is optimistic about finding a solution soon. Thune acknowledges the pressure on all sides, but believes they are close to an agreement. The key issue? Funding the government alongside long-term appropriations bills, and the Democrats' demand for a vote on extending health insurance tax credits. Republicans argue that Democrats are playing a waiting game, biding their time until after the elections. A total of 14 votes on advancing the GOP-backed continuing resolution have failed, with no new Democrats joining the Republicans. However, Senator Markwayne Mullin, a Republican from Oklahoma, is confident that the shutdown will end this week. He believes that some Democrats who were willing to vote last week will now be allowed to vote as they see fit. The bipartisan conversations on Capitol Hill center around a minibus approach, a package of full-year appropriations bills. This strategy aims to demonstrate the Republicans' willingness to work with Democrats on long-term funding. The minibus would consist of 3 bills, one for military construction in the Department of Veterans Affairs, another for the legislative branch, and a third for the FDA and Department of Agriculture. Senator Katie Britt, an Alabama Republican, has been actively involved in these discussions, aiming to break the stalemate by passing appropriations bills. Senator Britt believes that the failure to pass these bills is the root cause of the shutdown. She argues that by passing these bills, they can effectively begin to resolve the issue. However, Republicans need at least 5 more Democrats on board to reopen the government with a short-term measure. They've offered a vote on extending healthcare tax credits under the Affordable Care Act, an offer that has been on the table for weeks. Senator Mike Rounds, a Republican from South Dakota, believes that this offer, along with the appropriations package, might entice Democrats to support the resolution. Republicans have emphasized a return to regular order, aiming to pass all 12 full-year funding bills instead of a massive year-end bill. But time is of the essence, as the continuing resolution would only fund the government until November 21st. Senator Thune acknowledges that the deadline must be extended, but the exact date is still uncertain. Senator Susan Collins, the top appropriator in the Senate, advocates for a December deadline. She believes this would increase the chances of resolving the funding fight through individual bills, avoiding a full-year stopgap measure. However, House Speaker Mike Johnson disagrees, ruling out a December continuing resolution due to concerns about pre-holiday deadlines and the resulting massive omnibus legislation. Senator Thune remains hopeful, but cautions that any one senator could slow down the process, potentially pushing the impasse into next week. Senator Gary Peters, a Democrat from Michigan, describes this as a sensitive time in the negotiations. Senator Collins, on the other hand, is cautiously optimistic, believing that the more specific talks are leading to progress. So, will this potential deal bring an end to the government shutdown? Only time will tell. But with both parties engaging in productive talks, there's a glimmer of hope on the horizon. And this is the part most people miss. It's not just about the deal. It's about the willingness to compromise and find common ground.